Yo, yo, what's happening? What's happening, world? What's the deal? What's the deal? B Marsh Boxing, I'm back at it with another boxing video. We got this big fight at MSG, New York City. Shushu Carrington versus Carlos Castro. Now, this is for the vacant WBC featherweight strap that was vacated by, what's his name? Slim from Philly. Cool boy Steph. All right. Now, Shushu Carrington from Brownsville, Brooklyn. He's fighting in front of the home crowd. He's in cruise control in the first 3 rounds, using his jab. He got the long reach. He does have a long reach for a featherweight. I believe over 72 inches. He's catching Carlos Castro at the end of his jab. It's like a power jab. He's unleashing to the body, looping left hooks to the liver. You know what I mean? And he's looking good. But in the fourth round, he gets clipped with a big right hand. Boom. That joint hurts him. He's on Queer Street. This guy really doesn't have his legs under him. He's trying to hold on, and I was kind of concerned because he was trying to clinch and shit, but didn't look like he had the strength to keep Carlos Castro off of him. You know what I mean? Carlos Castro's having some success. The man Juju Shushu Carrington got his back against the ropes. He's enticing Carlos Castro to come in after Carlos Castro unleashed numerous shots, you know what I mean? But none of them really dropped the guy. But, Shushu, man, when he put his punches together, he was starting to have some success, you know what I mean? But round 4 and 5, I did give it to Carlos Castro, you know what I mean? But Juju started to tighten up his defense after getting buzzed. And, you know, I haven't seen him hurt before. But he started fighting in the pocket, especially in the center of the ring. That's where he was having his success, you know what I mean? Unleashing combinations, the uppercut on the inside, the body shots. He had a nice punch variety. And eventually, fighting in the middle of the ring where he was most comfortable at, paid dividends. When he catches him with he catches the man, Carlos Castro, was it, at least in the eighth round or something, with a big right hand. Boom, catches him flush. And this dude is buzzed. He's dazed. Immediately, Juju starts throwing combinations. Left hook, right hook, boom, boom. 3 combinations flush to the face. Carlos Castro, a guy who's never at least been stopped or at least on his back. Man, he goes down and he ain't getting up, man. It's a wrap. He gets knocked out in devastating fashion. You know what I'm saying? Not no TKO, not no on your feet no, knockout. Devastating knockout. It was a thing of beauty. It might be the highlight of the knockout of the night, but I'm glad it happened especially in a title fight. You know what I mean? So big ups to the man, Shushu Carrington. He is now the WBC featherweight champion. You know what I'm saying? And he's only like 16 and 0, 17 and 0. So I believe, he's gonna be on that top ranked diet unless there's some good unifications that the man could get involved with. But I've been watching Shushu Carrington for a while. Here he is on this platform, um, on the zone because this who is it, top rank don't have a home for him, you know what I mean? They don't have a television home. You know what I'm saying? But the man Shushu Carrington, hopefully he can be in much bigger fights, especially in unifications, you know what I mean? Because that was a one hell of a fight, especially due to the fact it was competitive all throughout the fight. Even in the rounds that whether it was Shushu lost and or Carlos Castro lost, you know what I mean? Now another featherweight fight we got looking forward to, which possibly could be a unification with Shushu Carrington would be what's his name? Nick Ball versus Figueroa. That fight's probably gonna be in England, you know what I mean? And that's gonna be a good fight to look out for. We got guys like Rafael Espinoza, he's still a player at 126 pounds. Angelo Leo, he has a strap there, if I'm not mistaken. So there's some players, man. There's some guys that we definitely want to see mix it up, you know what I mean, and see who's the real deal at featherweight. But anyways, let me see, got people in the chat. Mike's Ring, what the deal? Mike's Ring. What's going on? G says this guy's a problem for anyone. Quintessential 80s style fighter. Yeah, and especially at featherweight, you know. At featherweight, featherweight is definitely a glamour division, you know what I mean? And if he can make a name for himself there, it's gonna be plenty of good fights for him in the future. Uh Mr. Steve 115 said that was a good combination. Beautiful combination, man. That right hand set it off. And that's the one that hurt Carlos viciously. And it was all she wrote after that with the combination that put him on the flat on his back. Joe Power says I'm the real one. Okay. I'm on my old account. MC15 says, C15 says, is there are some fight out if there are some fight outcomes you could change in boxing history, which ones would you go back in time and change? Marvin Hagler versus Ray Leonard. Yeah, yeah, Hagler won that fight. Ray Leonard versus Tommy Hearns too. I hated that decision. Um, Lennox Lewis versus Holyfield, the first fight. Even though I was rooting for Holyfield, that was bad what they did to Lennox. Yeah, there's a plethora of fight. There's numerous fights. Um, I'm a big fan of Michael Spinks, but Michael Spinks versus Larry Holmes, the first fight. You know, there's too many fights. Too many fights. You know what I mean? We could make a whole go on for hours about that. Okay, Mike's Ring says Aram has an eye for up and coming talent, but sucks at developing his guys once they win the title. That's true. That's very true. You know, we've seen that from guys. You know, even though De La Hoya was a star, even with Bob Arum, but we've seen it especially, unfortunately, with the black fighters, whether it's Shakur Stevenson or even to a certain extent, a bum-ass dude like Teofimo Lopez and or, fellas like Floyd Mayweather. We've seen it happen, but you're definitely right about that. But yeah, man, great fight. Big up Shushu Carrington. Hopefully this card will be live like that Shushu Carrington versus Carlos Castro fight. I sure do hope so, because that was definitely entertaining. Be Marsh Boxing, I'll get back at y'all. You already know I'm covering all these fights. Tap back in with me on the next one. I'm gone. Peace.